Hi friends. Online friends, if you can please confirm that you can see me and hear me by typing yes. Thank you. Thank you. So guys, let's close our eyes for a moment. So, a quick recap. What did we discuss in the last lecture? Functionalism. Yeah. So, give me a very quick understanding of what is functionalism, brother. Society is based on a value consensus. Very good. Continue, Betty. Okay, there are shared norms and values which members of a society have. Brother. Okay, various social institutions ensure that the individuals meet the expectations of the society. Brother. Through the process of socialization. Okay, through various social control mechanisms such as it can be reward for adhering to the norms and values of the society and punishment for not adhering to them. Give me example of some punishments. Okay, so it could be in the form of law. Or boycott. Absolutely. Great. Then, what else, brother? Yes, in the cap. Yes. Society is characterized by harmony, continuity. बोलते जाओ बेटिया. Yes. Continue. Yes. Consensus, cooperation. ठीक है. Give me a criticism of this theory of functionalism, brother. Yes. It downplays what? It downplays what? You have to complete your argument, no? Brother? It downplays the oppression and exploitation in society. Absolutely. Bitya? What else? It legitimizes and thereby helps, in the maintenance of the inequalities prevalent in the society. Brother? It parrots the views of the dominant sections of the society. Brother at the back? Yes. It assumes value consensus. And what else? Brother? Yes, at the back. Huh. Teleological and tautological explanations. Great. What is teleology? What is teleology? Yes, it is to wrongfully equate causes with functions. Absolutely. That is teleology or tautology? Teleology. ठीक है. Good. और कोई criticisms? Brother? Yes? It portrays the individual as a cultural nashedi. Yeah? ठीक है. So that's pretty much it, I suppose. Yeah? Sorry? It is status quoist. Yes. Doubt? हाँ, अभी बस ये हो गया रिविजन. यहीं तक पढ़ा था. We had not begun with any of the thinkers. ठीक है, great. So any doubts? First I'll be asking the online students. What are social facts? Please give an example of how to consider it as a thing. Social facts is a concept developed by Sri Durkheim, the first thinker we'll be studying. So we'll be taking it up in some detail as we proceed, but I won't be able to do justice to it in a short reply. Okay? Is the chapter on sociology as a science over? Okay, so we have only taken a very broad overview of that chapter. A lot of details that you may come across, say in a Sangwan, etc., from that chapter, we have not yet covered, and we will cover them when we discuss sociological research, etc. Okay, so you please do your reading part accordingly. So if in your Sangwan you are coming across terms like symbolic interactionism, ethnomethodology, etc., okay, please ignore all of that for now. We'll do it later. Any doubts? Yes. Explain teleology again. Causes are of anything. Happen before that thing or after that thing? Before. So first causes happen, then the thing happens, which they cause, which we are talking about social institutions. Okay? So the cause of a social institution would happen before the institution arises. The functions happen when? After the thing has arisen or before it? After. So it performs its functions. Functions are effects, positive effects. So the functions happen only after a social institution has made appearance. Some functionalists wrongly equate functions and causes, or they assume that the functions are, wrongly assume the functions are the causes. Meaning they think that society has some inherent need for the performance of those tasks, and that is why this social institution has emerged. Without investigating it, without proving it, they simply assume that the functions are the causes. The two conceptually are different. Okay? And for exam purposes, you don't expect a question on teleology and tautology. Okay? So, bluntly, even if you write, so you'll use these only in the criticism of functionalism. Even if you write that functional theories or some functionalists are criticized for offering teleological explanations. Without explaining, it will be just as fine. ठीक? Any other? चलें आगे फिर जीवन में. हाँ. Social institution as an agency. Agency means it's an agent of some. In that context, okay, agency would mean it's an agent of something. In terms of human agency, you're saying. So in that context, it would mean the ability of the individual to be, to do his own thing, to take his own decisions and whatever. Social institutions, we are referring to, well, social institutions. ठीक विचार. हाँ क्या? क्या क्या क्या? कोई नहीं, बाद में ढूंढ के फिर करना. वी वोंट होल्ड दी क्लास हॉस्टेज फॉर दैट. हाँ बोलो, अगर मिल गया तो बोलो. हाँ तो ठीक है ना. दिस इज आई एम यूजिंग इट इन अ डिफरेंट कॉन्टेक्स्ट, द वर्ड एजेंसी. हाँ एजेंसी मतलब एन एजेंट ऑफ और somebody who is doing something on somebody's behalf in a way. In that context, we're using the word agency in two different contexts in different ways. हाँ या ठीक है. चलें आगे जीवन में. हाँ natural sciences are a kind of science. Okay, then other sciences could be social sciences, like sociology is a social science. That is the thing. चलिए अब चलें आगे. चलने दो, कहीं पहुंचना भी है हमें जीवन में, है ना. चलिए, starting now with the first thinker amongst our 6 thinkers, namely Shri Emile Durkheim. One student is asking, research methodologies, non-positivist methodologies, when will you teach these topics? Towards the end of paper 1. Or some of them we'll take along, as we come across symbolic interactionism, we'll discuss. Weber, we'll discuss. So in parts. What is ecological fallacy? Now that is another criticism of functional theories. You may have, or the student may have come across this term in one of the texts. I'll be explaining its meaning when I discuss Durkheim's theory of suicide. Because there you'll understand it better in a context. The meaning of this term, ecological fallacy. Can you explain, some doubts have come up, can you explain how functional theory ignores the agency of the individual? Can you explain how functional theory ignores the agency of the individual? Beti? Absolutely correct. Because as per functionalism, human or the individual members of the society, their conduct is almost as if entirely determined by the norms and values of the society through the twin processes of socialization and social control. So the individual doesn't decide anything for himself, but is literally controlled by the society. Chaliye, moving on, or starting with Emile Durkheim. This is the time period during which the gentleman lived. Just to give you a sense of, where to place him in this thing. We'll begin with a very brief biographical sketch of the guy. Okay? And as far as the exam goes, you will never be asked. It has never been asked. Okay, I'm not UPSC. But it has never been asked in the past. But it only, I'm discussing because it helps you get a sense of the person. Okay, what kind of a background and context he's coming from. So, Emile Durkheim was, kahan ka ladka? French. Absolutely. Naam hi French hai. He was a French philosopher of the 19th century. And in terms of his family background, he was Jewish. Any follower of Judaism, right? One of the oldest religions in the world, older than Christianity. And in fact, his family, okay, many male members of his family, elders of his, they were rabbis. Rabbis are basically Jewish priests. उनके जो ब्राह्मण पंडित होते थे, उनके परिवार से थे. So he came from a very, conservative and religious kind of a family. Because of which he understood the immense importance of religion in society. Okay? However, by education, okay, he was taught at this college called Ecole Normale something, which was established with the primary objective of spreading enlightenment values, of inculcating enlightenment values, okay, in the society. Now, what are enlightenment values, or specifically on the question of religion? What is enlightenment? What are enlightenment? We've discussed this. Enlightenment teaches what? Rationality, scientific temper. Yes or no? And in the context of religion, secularism. Are you with me? A secular ethos was like encouraged by the Enlightenment. So because of his education, he was very secular in his orientation. Because of family background, he understood the importance of religion in society. Both these dimensions you will see reflected in his theory of religion. He was a student of which discipline? Sorry? Sociology तो नहीं. Sociology के तो ये रचयिता थे in a way. Yeah, na? He was one of the founding fathers. There was no sociology. He established the discipline of sociology. He was a student of philosophy. And he also, at one point of time in his life, he was the advisor to the education minister. In other words, he was a big shot. ठीक? बड़ा आदमी थे. Now, that would suffice for his background, okay, to give you a sense of the guy. Now let us begin with, and of course, in terms of his orientation or outlook, as far as analysis of society goes, he was a functionalist. And that, more than anything else, will tell you. कैसी बातें करेंगे समाज के बारे में? अच्छी, absolute. ठीक है? अच्छी बातें करेंगे. हर चीज के क्या बताएंगे? फायदे, positives, benefits, advantages. Yeah? What are the positive contributions of that institution to the society? So, chaliye. With that introduction, let us begin with the... in our UPSC syllabus, I think we have not mentioned, so note that also. There are 4 topics mentioned under Emile Durkheim, namely religion and society, division of labor, third would be suicide, and fourth is social facts. We'll be discussing each of them turn by turn at some reasonable length. ठीक है? Beginning with his views on religion and society. And whatever I am going to discuss are Durkheim's views on religion. Okay? Before we try to understand Durkheim's views on religion, I want to understand your views on religion. Only to the extent, how many of you are religious? Raise your hands. ठीक है. And how many of you are clearly not religious? Atheistic and agnostic type के लोग. Okay, just a few. ठीक है. When the bulk of us say we are religious, when you say you are religious, what do you mean? What is your understanding of religion? What do you mean when you say you are religious? Or what is religion? Simply, in simple terms. Don't give me definitions or all of that. I will give you. You're religious? Only the religious have the, should I say, the right. Huh? Yes. So you were saying basically I follow the prescriptions of whatever my religion says. So I follow some of the prescriptions of what my religion dictates. Beti? It is a, it gives direction to my life, okay. मतलब एक फ्यूटाइल कोशिश करते हैं. She's saying हम लॉजिक फाइंड करने की कोशिश करते हैं. We try to make sense of our religious beliefs and practices. Beti? So, for her, religion simply means a belief in the existence of some sort of a supernatural power, entity, being or divinity. है ना? Great. Yes, brother? It is a vehicle of peace. मन की शांति के लिए एक रास्ता है, एक मार्ग है for मन की शांति. It's a vehicle of peace, as he says. So it gives me a moral code of conduct. For me, it is a source of moral code of conduct. Brother? What are, don't use the word religious to explain religion. Okay. At the most basic level, what is religion? Interesting. When people have a strong belief, he's like prefix that with the word strong. An important adjective to that belief system. Faith to charter the unknown. Very poetically expressed. Yes? Yes? But you are not religious. But theek hai, what's your understanding of what these, illogical religious people, what does their religion mean to them?
Different religions try to answer the basic question of why we are all here and what.
So religions are basically a knowledge system to answer the existential questions that trouble the mind of man. हम क्यों हैं, कौन है, पर्पस क्या है, हम सृष्टि क्यों है, क्या है. And the benefits, like these guys get, a sense of peace or a moral code of conduct, etc. These are the outcomes. ठीक है. बेटी? So religion, thus understood, is basically charity. Brother?
Sir, religion is the presupposition of the existence of universal social justice.
Assumption of a universal presupposition of universal justice. कि भगवान के घर में धेर है, अंधेर नहीं है. I would say if I understand you correctly, you were trying to say universal sense of justice. Social justice we use in a slightly narrower sense. हाँ, आप बाल बना रहे थे. हाँ. So religion is basically whatever the sciences are unable to explain. An explanation of those things. Very, very nice. Very nice. Religion is some set of practices or thought processes which is intuitively right I don't know. Being from Banaras, so we have a Banarsi Babu in the house. For me, religion is the source of birth for the goal of life, which directs us for the whole of life, our actions towards the society. Okay. Religion is something we resort to in times of helplessness. So बेसहारे का सहारा है religion, है ना? जब नानी याद आती है तो really भगवान याद आता है. When you have no other thing to this thing, then you resort to this notion of God or some sort of a superior, higher being or power. ठीक है. You know, this notion of God simply is central to the intuitive, commonsensical, popular understanding of religion. Religion is God. It's got something to do with the supernatural or God or divinity, as we call it. Right? हमारे जो thoughts हैं, beliefs हैं, practices हैं, related to this notion of a supernatural, superhuman, superpower. Right? Very interestingly, as we proceed in Durkheim's theory of religion, you know, his understanding of religion is completely devoid of any concept of God or the supernatural. He gives an understanding, an explanation and a definition of religion where there is no concept of God. How he looks at religion, please appreciate. Firstly, the title of the book wherein he talks about religion, it is titled The Elementary Forms of the, मैंने लिख रहा, Elementary Forms of the Religious Life. लिख लो ना, आप तो लिख लो, मैं नहीं लिख रहा तो. Elementary Forms of the Religious Life. That's the title of his book. Why I'm saying? Because you'll be using it in your answers. Elementary Forms of the Religious Life. Yes, please make running notes. Somebody's asking. So, the name of Durkheim's book is, it's titled Elementary Forms of the Religious Life. How he defines religion, let us try to appreciate. Likho, according to Durkheim, religion is a unified system of beliefs and practices related to sacred things. Sacred, na ki secret. Not secret things, sacred things. Stop here. This definition is not yet complete. Leave some space for your running and then start your running notes. It's a 4 or 5 line definition. But I'll be explaining it and proceeding alongside. Okay? So we have written in half or incomplete definition. So he says it's a unified system of beliefs and practices related to sacred things. This notion of sacred, please appreciate, is central to Durkheim's understanding of religion. Religion is whatever we think, whatever we do, centering around, related to what we regard as sacred. ठीक? Sacred क्या है? What is sacred? Let us try to appreciate. Again, it's a normal English word. What do you understand by sacred in the English sense of the term? Pious. Pure. Pious, like, in matrimonial advertisements, it is often written, the mother is a pious lady. That kind of pious, which would mean, say, dharmic lady. You're saying it is pure. Like pure desi ghee. Unadulterated in that sense. What is sacred? something out of the ordinary, apart from the normal. Very good. Huh? Brother? Pavitra. Yes? Respected to the extent that it can't be changed or challenged. Huh? It is a free of selfishness. I know that's a stretch, very frankly. Even for the English usage of the term, how do you deduce that? Selflessness? Nahi. Sacredness is something so different from selflessness. Yes, beta? Divine. Huh? The problem is Durkheim's theory doesn't have this concept of a divine. Huh, brother? Forbidden. Good. That is exactly how, in fact, Durkheim defines it. Huh? Likho. Religion is a unified system of beliefs and practices related to sacred things, i.e., that is, things set apart and forbidden. Things set apart and forbidden. See, Durkheim says set apart and forbidden in the sense it cannot be approached casually. It is something special, as he rightly said, something out of the ordinary. Okay? According to Durkheim, friends, please appreciate, he uses two terms. He says in every society, the members of that society divide their whole world and everything in that world into two categories. Either they regard a thing as sacred or as profane. Sacred or profane. All things, beings, phenomena and entities in a society are either of the two types. Anything would be either sacred or profane. Sacred, Durkheim defines as things which are set apart and forbidden. What do you mean by profane? Profane are, now how Durkheim defines it, very unsatisfactory intellectually. He says profane are things which are not sacred. ठीक, those things which are not sacred are profane. पर इस ज्ञान से हम क्या ही करेंगे, है ना? Huh? So what is really profane? Profane simply refers to those things which are ordinary, day to day, या mundane, रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी से ताल्लुक रखने वाली चीजें कहलाती हैं profane. Ordinary or mundane or everyday things and objects are what are termed or regarded by Durkheim as profane. ठीक? So in every society, all things, beings, entities and phenomena are classified as either sacred or profane. The sacred things are set apart and forbidden. Why I am dwelling on this? Because this understanding of the concept of sacred is central to Durkheim's theory of religion or his meaning of religion. Religion is what? Beliefs and practices related to sacred things. So we need to understand fully what are sacred things. Sacred are things which are set apart and forbidden. Forbidden in the sense they cannot be touched with impunity. They cannot be approached casually. एवं ही नहीं आप sacred things से interact कर सकते हैं. There are detailed rules and regulations governing interaction with the sacred. समाज के बहुत महत्वपूर्ण नियम, कायदे, कानून होते हैं जिसके तहत आप सेक्रेड से इंटरैक्ट करते हैं. For example, in your house, there are several rooms. Okay? Out of these rooms, the room which is used or made into a temple is sacred or profane? Sacred. And the bedroom is sacred or profane? Profane. Meaning what? When you go back home, can you enter the bedroom casually, wearing shoes, bina nahaye, without a bath? Can you throw your shoes here and there casually, fling them around, and lay down on the bed as if without a care in the world? You can do all of that. There's no stopping you. There are no rules and regulations regarding how you behave in the bedroom. But when you enter the temple in your house, can you approach it with impunity? Or impunity means, without any fear of punishment or without any big consequences. Are you with me? कि बेझिझक धड़ल्ले से is what we mean by impunity. It's not a sociological word, it's only an English word. Without a care, casually, without consequences, without punishment. That is, Can you enter the temple in any which way you like? No. Can you? No. There are detailed rules and regulations governing your entry into the temple. For example, if you are a menstruating woman, can you enter the temple? No. Can a man enter the temple in any which way? No. You must enter the temple after having taken a bath. Before entering the temple, you must remove your footwear outside. Yes or no? So how you conduct yourself in that sacred space is governed by detailed rules and regulations laid down by the society. You can't be casual about it. It's something set apart and forbidden. Forbidden as in casual acquaintance, casual interaction with the sacred is forbidden. It must be as per the rules and regulations which have been laid down for interaction with the sacred. Right? One second. In your home, you have tap water. That is sacred or profane? Profane. So, for example, in your bathroom, you leave the tap open, water comes out, the bucket gets filled and it overflows. Is that okay? Chalta hai, hota hai. Can you use a lot of water, say in the shower, singing unnecessarily and doing all kinds of stuff? Yes. Why? It is profane, everyday, ordinary, mundane kind of a thing. But Ganga Jal is sacred or profane? तो क्या उसको बहा दोगे casually 2 liter? Absolutely not. It is literally set apart and forbidden in a very special container. कैसा होता है वो? White color का plastic का, brought all the way from Haridwar. Yes or no? Kept set apart and forbidden. Used only on special occasions, sparingly. Yes or no? So that is sacred. In Hindu society, the cow is sacred. The donkey is profane. So if you go to near a donkey, Can you kick it and whatever? Or the donkey can kick you, whatever? Yes or no? You don't treat it, you treat it just like any other beast of burden. But the cow, can you, a practicing Hindus amongst you, approach the cow with impunity? ऐਵੇਂ काव को दुलत्ती मार सकते हो आप, या कुछ भी ऐसे वैसे कर सकते हो? नहीं. गौ माता के पास जब जाओगे, गौ ग्रास दोगे बड़े अदब से. Yes or no? And you will chant the mantras and पितरों को याद करोगे और फिर जाके दोगे, फिर पानी चढ़ाओगे उनके पैरों पे, and whatever. Yes or no? The tulsi plant is sacred, and the eucalyptus tree is profane. Yes or no? So you get the idea. Sacred is that which is set apart and forbidden. It cannot be approached with impunity. There are detailed rules and regulations governing the interaction with the sacred. The profane, on the other hand, is ordinary, everyday things. Are you with me? And religion is what? It is a unified system of beliefs and practices related to sacred things. Beliefs and practices. Beliefs are what our thoughts are, how we think about those things, and practices are what we do. The rituals, for instance, they are the practices of a religion. Yes or no? Unified system of beliefs and practices. What do you mean by unified? All of them taken together. A. And secondly, there is no inconsistency between them. There is no inconsistency between them. ये नहीं है कि काऊ को मैं एक तरफ तो सेक्रेड कह रहा हूं और दूसरी तरफ गौ मांस बेच के कमा रहा हूं. Are you with me? So they are a unified system of beliefs and practices related to sacred things, or things which are set apart and forbidden. Clear? Let us now try to appreciate the relationship. Also, friends, what these things are not, you need to understand. It's not that, sacred is benevolent and profane is malevolent. Or sacred is good and profane is evil. Do we think of the donkey as evil or malevolent? No. It's simply ordinary, not sacred. Are you with me? So it's not the same as a distinction between good and evil or benevolent and malevolent. Yes?
Sir, like evil, it is also forbidden, right? Carrying out something that is evil, it is said to be that is forbidden, one should not do it.
No, forbidden here in the sense that you cannot interact casually. In that sense, forbidden. And just to, even the sacred may be what you are calling evil or malevolent or not benevolent. Let me put it this way. Even the sacred may be not so benevolent. For example, Shani Maharaj. Yes or no? Not a very nice guy to know. Nobody wants Shani in their kundli or in their lives. But is Shani sacred? You bet it is. Think of Bhairav Baba. You know the guy? The less said the better about his conduct, right? But is he sacred? Yes, he is. A trip to Vaishno Devi is not complete without a visit to the Bhairav Mandir. So sacred is things set apart and forbidden. Profane is simply the ordinary, the day-to-day, the mundane. ठीक है? Or that which is not special, simply. Not sacred, is profane. Now let us try to appreciate the relationship between sacred and profane. तो heading दे दो ना. और वो definition incomplete है, so leave 4-5 lines. We'll complete it as we proceed. First, let me explain the whole thing. A lot of the questions that may prop up in your minds right now, they may get answered automatically. Give the subheading, relationship between sacred and profane. First, the sacred is always separated and set apart from all the other objects. From all the other objects. Full stop. Durkheim considers that sacred thing, Durkheim considers that the sacred thing is that which the profane should not touch, that which the profane should not touch and cannot touch with impunity. With impunity. हाँ, क्या करूं इसका? I-M. Are you asking what letter is this? M for mother. I-M-P-U-N. N for Nagaland. I-T-Y. Not impurity. Impunity. The root is punitive. Punitive means punishment. Punitive measures or punishments. Impunity means without punishment. Okay, or without any consequences, or casually, without a chinta of consequences. Alright? Second, there are detailed rules and regulations. I repeat, there are detailed rules and regulations and social practices that are laid down detailing how the sacred is to be approached. How the sacred is to be approached. Okay? Like I said, and when you enter the temple, there are clear guidelines and social practices which are prescribed, which you must follow. Right? Next. The sacred is protected and isolated through strong prohibitions and taboos. Through strong prohibitions and taboos. What's a taboo? A very strict no-go. Okay? A very strict prohibition when placed by the society. something which is regarded as a ghangor paap, not just any paap, it's a ghangor paap. Okay? Like you may have heard of the incest taboo, which exists in most societies. That, people with very close, you are prohibited to have sexual relations with some of the very close family members, like say mother, son, or father, daughter, kind of a thing. Okay? Fourth, and before we write that, you tell me, what is it that makes something sacred in a society? Why in Hindu culture, Hindu society, the cow is sacred and not the donkey? Both are animals. एक जानवर और दूसरे जानवर में इतना भेदभाव क्यों? Brother? Because it is quoted in the scriptures. That's a very UPSC type bhasha, value add that they make to the society. Value addition. What is the value addition that cow makes to the society? It provides milk. Okay. Antibodies which help the body. And gobar, which can be used for gas and for as manure. And gaumutra, which has its own medicinal properties apparently. And so many other nice things. हाँ तो वो क्या है? हाँ, in particular, slightly. Brother? What is it? So you're saying something similar to what was earlier stated, that it's in the scriptures or the holy texts.
Sometimes the animals, they are considered a messenger or some rights of some gods, particular god.
ठीक है. So because Gau Mata is associated with, say, Krishna ji, closely, है ना? हाँ. Value consensus. Very briefly, aptly and correctly put. Beti? So cows were a very integral part of the agrarian economy during the Vedic period. And that is why they were of immense, because of their immense economic value or their contribution to the well-being of the society in that sense, that is why they are considered sacred. This is a very common understanding, a common view that is what makes something sacred. Durkheim, friends, is categorical. Very clearly he writes, and please write down. It is not the utility of a thing which makes it sacred. It is not the utility of a thing which makes it sacred. गौ इसलिए सेक्रेड नहीं है, इसलिए माता नहीं है क्योंकि वो दूध, घी, दही एंड एटसेट्रा, गोबर एटसेट्रा का सोर्स थी. ठीक है? He wants to clear that misconception, and that's not just in our culture. In many cultures such explanations have been given. लिखते जाओ. Anything can be sacred. Anything can be sacred. कुछाओ sacred हो सकता है. Dash. A stone. A pebble. शिवलिंग की क्या यूटिलिटी है? क्या काम आते हैं? भगवान माफ करे, बट इन टर्म्स ऑफ यूटिलिटी तो क्या ही है? A pebble, a color, a river, a symbol, a plant, an animal, anything can be sacred. Kuch ho. And it's not based on utility. As one of you rightly pointed out, it simply emerges out of a consensus amongst the members of the society. Don't look for rational explanations there. ठीक है कि गऊ बहुत काम आती थी या गंगा river was a source of irrigation water and life nourishing this thing. That is why. It is not the utility. Oftentimes, profane can be of greater utility than the sacred. Yes or no? For the Hindus, this thread, moli, is sacred or profane? And the shirt or the kurta that we wear, that's sacred or profane? Profane. And which is of greater utility? Shirt is clearly has greater use value or utility than the moli. Yes or no? Internet, today's times, WhatsApp, these are of great, immense utility. They increase our efficiency, whether in work, in education, everywhere. But it's sacred or profane? Profane. The tika on the forehead, how useful is it? Bhagwan maaf kare. But is it sacred or profane? It's sacred. Are you with me? Tap water is more useful or Ganga Jal? Tap water. Don't you give me Ganga Jal, Sadta nahi hai and all that. Okay? Because it is not about the utility of a thing. Even in an agrarian economy in the olden days, why not the bhais? The buffalo is also a good source of loads of milk, but the buffalo doesn't enjoy the same sacredness in Hindu culture, Hindu society, that the cow enjoys. So don't look for tuk where none exists. Okay? It simply emerges out of a consensus amongst the members of the society, and it is not the utility that makes something sacred. Things which are very useful, some examples we already took, are not sacred. Things which seem to have little utility can be immensely sacred. Alright? Likho agla. The sacred is not superior to the profane. In terms of utility. ये नहीं है कि जो चीज ज्यादा इस्तेमाल की फायदे की है समाज के लिए या लोगों के लिए वो सेक्रेड है. फुल स्टॉप. सेम सेंटेंस, मतलब सेम नेक्स्ट सेंटेंस. The sacred is infinitely superior to profane in terms of dignity, absolutely, and power. So नॉर्मल पानी ज्यादा काम आता होगा, पर मेरा सर किसके लिए झुकता है? गंगा जल के लिए झुकता है. यस और नो? सीमेंट और रोड़ी से जिससे मकान या रोड बनती है, मे हैव ग्रेटर यूटिलिटी, बट मेरा सर किस पत्थर के सामने झुकता है? भगवान माफ करे, शिवलिंग के सामने झुकता है. यस और नो? बिकॉज इट इज इनफाइनाइटली सुपीरियर, बियॉन्ड कंपैरिजन टू द प्रोफेन in terms of power and dignity. ठीक. नेक्स्ट, ये बताओ बिफोर यू राइट, आर थिंग्स are certain things sacred in, or what is regarded as sacred? Is it same across societies or it varies from society to society? Clearly, it varies from society to society. So, in Hindu society, the cow is sacred, the swastik is sacred, yes or no? Bhagwa Rang is sacred, but amongst Muslims, cow is yummy. Yes or no? In Germany, swastik is बिल्कुल ठीक है, a symbol of associated with Nazism. Are you with me? Or in, say, other cultures, Bhagwa may not have any special meaning or place. In the Christian world, the cross carries a lot of sacredness, but it doesn't so in Hindu culture or Hindu society. So clearly, it is varies from society to society what is considered as sacred. दूसरी बात आप मुझे ये बताओ कि is it some intrinsic property of a thing which makes it sacred? क्या उसका कुछ मूल तत्व है जिसकी वजह से कोई चीज sacred होती है? Can the same thing in a given society be regarded as sacred in some situations and not as sacred or as profane in other situations? Or what is sacred forever, and what is profane forever? The same thing can be sacred in one social context and not sacred or profane in another. It is not some intrinsic property. Please appreciate. लिखो, फिर समझाते हैं. हाँ, according to Durkheim, objects may make a passage from sacred to profane. काट दो, रुक जाओ, पच कर लो if you want to. Okay, may make a passage from profane to sacred, may make a passage from profane to sacred, and from sacred to profane. ये मत सोचना फिर कटवाया क्यों, ठीक है? And from sacred to profane through rituals. मतलब चीज हमेशा या forever या intrinsically is not either sacred or profane. How they are treated, and they can be carried from the profane world to the sacred and vice versa. For example, after the class you go to Haldiram's and you purchase a packet of laddus. It's sacred or profane? It's profane. आपने आधा खाया, आधा गिराया. Is it acceptable? चलेगा. आधा डॉगी को दे दिया, है ना? All of that. But then you take it to the temple before opening that packet. Hand it over to the Panditji. He does what he does and hands it back to you. Now, that laddu, this very same laddu, is it sacred or is it profane? It is sacred. Now, can you do आधा खाया आधा गिराया? Definitely not. क्या करोगे? ऐसे with detailed rules and regulations. ऐसे लोगे, छोटा सा पीस, यूं करोगे, खाओगे. Yes or no? गिर गया तो गिरा हुआ भी खाओगे, माथे से लगा के. Yes or no? Why? Now it has become sacred. Clear? a red thread, okay, as part of a red t-shirt or a red bag, is it sacred or profane? Profane. But a red thread in Hindu culture worn on the wrist is sacred. Why? Because the Panditji does his thing while making you wear the thread. Yes or no? Or red color, okay, while playing Holi, along with violet and this and that. Sacred or profane? Profane. But red color, when used to fill the mang of the wife, it is sacred. Yes or no? So, what matters, whether, what makes a thing sacred or profane is the context. The same object may transition from the world of profane to the world of sacred, and vice versa. ठीक? Through rituals. Yeah? Example of sacred to profane. Bilkul. So, during Ganpati Chaturthi, okay, what happens? How is the Ganpati made? Made up of what? Clay and plaster of Paris and paint and colors. So these are, as paint and plaster of Paris, etc., these are what? Sacred or profane? Profane. But when they take the form of a Ganpati, they become sacred. And after Ganpati Visarjan, again in the waters you will find paint and plaster of Paris and clay, etc., which are again what? Profane. Are you with me? ठीक है? So, things or objects may make a passage from the world of sacred to the world of profane, or vice versa through rituals. ठीक है? So, that is about the nature of sacred and profane. In every society, its members divide their whole world into, or all the objects in it, into either of two categories. Things are either regarded as sacred or profane. And what is religion? It is the beliefs and practices related to sacred things. So what is Hinduism? Hinduism is the beliefs and practices related to the cow, the Vedas, the Moli, the Tika, Bhagava, Sri Ram, Shivling, all of these things which are regarded as sacred. उनके बारे में जो हमारी मान्यताएं हैं और जो हमारे practices हैं, what we do, is what constitutes the religion of Hinduism. Are you with me? Moving on. Now Durkheim, in order to understand religion, he studied with society. Let us try to appreciate. He himself was a Jew. Okay? He was Jewish or a follower of Judaism. But he did not undertake a study of Judaism. घर में experts थे, right? His was a family of rabbis. He could have gained all the theological knowledge from them. But he chose not to study Judaism. Christianity was the dominant religion in Europe. But he did not study Christianity. Nor did he study any of the other major world religions like Hinduism or Islam. Okay? He studied the religious beliefs and practices of the Arunta tribe in Australia. The religious beliefs and practices of the Arunta tribe of Australia. Arunta is an aboriginal tribe. It's a tribe of aborigines. Aboriginal tribe means, they were regarded as the original or the native inhabitants of Australia. Okay? Today, Australia is populated by whites, white people. So the whites basically decimated the original inhabitants, the aboriginal tribes. And today we see Australia as a white nation or continent. So it is one of the, nowadays in modern times, a very marginalized, small sized kind of this thing. Why did Durkheim pick up this very, nondescript society and its religion, its beliefs and practices, instead of either his own religion or any of the other major world religions? Brother? So? So basically he wanted to be detached and, he thought that something far off and distant and unknown, he could maintain neutrality better. Good tukka, but not the main reason. Brother? Origin of religion? Raise your hand, and if asked to, then we speak. Primitive religion. So basically his primary reason was that Arunta society was a small-sized, primitive and simple society. Arunta tribe was a primitive, small-scale, simple society. The other religious communities, be it Jews or Christians or Muslims, etc., are far bigger and far more complex. Are you with me? Simply, it would be far more difficult to decipher and understand them. He expected the religious beliefs and practices of the Arunta people also to be simple. Like their society was simple, so he wanted to study religion in its most elementary or simplest form. And he expected to find a simple, elementary form of religion amongst a society which is less developed, less complex, and it is small-sized and simple. Are you with me? Simply, he chose the Arunta religion for his study because of its simplicity. Because of its simplicity. Clear? Now, if you study Islam or Hinduism, these are major difficult to fathom. Right? I was going to use some bad slang. But these are majorly complex belief systems. So there are multiple philosophies and multiple scriptures, multiple interpretations. Are you with me? Schools of thought with arguments, counter-arguments, contradictions inherent, and so many things. Right? But the Arunta religion, he expected it to be simple, given the simple nature of the Arunta social organization or Arunta society. So let us try to appreciate what was the nature of the Arunta society, or the Arunta tribe. So, the Arunta tribe was divided into, it was a small scale, simple and primitive tribe, and it was divided into several exogamous clans. Exogamous clans. A clan is a subgrouping within a larger social group or a tribe. What do you understand by exogamy? Yes. So the word or the suffix gamy stands for marriage. Monogamy, marrying one person. Polygamy, marrying multiple persons. So gamy stands for marriage. Exo stands for the prefix exo. Outside, absolutely. Like you have exogenous and endogenous reactions or heat, or somewhere you have. Exothermic and endothermic? Yeah. Right? So exo means outside of, endo means inside of. So exogamy means marrying outside of one's own group. Right? And isi tarah, another marriage rule in general, not in Arunta people, but in general would be endogamy, marrying within one's own group. Okay? I'm just explaining the meaning of the term exogamy. Then I'll come back to the Arunta people. In Indian society, which rule do we follow? Endogamy or exogamy? So, in terms of caste, we have endogamy or exogamy? Endogamy. In other words, you are expected to marry another person of your own caste or from within your caste group. That is caste endogamy. And where do we have exogamy? Gotra exogamy. So you are expected to marry a person of the same caste but of a different gotra. Okay? And those Angrez amongst us who don't understand gotra, we will discuss it in paper 2. Okay? And in the meanwhile, you can ask your parents slightly. Okay? So, gotra is like in fact a clan. Okay? If we may call it that way. So, coming back to the Arunta people. One sec. So coming back to the Arunta people, the Arunta tribe was divided into several exogamous clans. Yeah, it's like it's a subgrouping. Each clan, so when I say exogamous clan, each clan was represented by its own symbol. Each clan was represented by its own symbol. हर क्लैन का अपना एक चिन्ह होता था, है in fact. They are not dead completely. And it was a plant or animal symbol. Each clan was represented by its own symbol, which was either a plant or an animal. ठीक है? The symbol of the clan is known as totem. ठीक? Each clan had its own flag also. And on its flag, on each clan's flag was carved its symbol or totem. And on the flag of each clan was carved its symbol or totem. Members of a clan Members of a clan expected support from their fellow clan members in case of any fight or dispute with a member of another clan. ठीक? So simple social rules, सादगी भरा जीवन. So let us say we are that Arunta tribe. Okay, and each block of students represents a different clan. Right? So you are one clan. Choose your totem. What is your totem or your plant or animal symbol which represents you guys? Yeah? Tiger. So they are the tiger clan. You are the eagle clan. You are the rat clan. Okay? For not taking. Beware of the eagle. ठीक है? So, or let's make you a tree. You're a eucalyptus tree. We need a tree also. So these are the 3 clans in this Arunta tribe. Right? If this gentleman here has to get married, where will he pick up his wife from? From either of the other 2 groups, not his own group. That is the rule of exogamy. If this gentleman has a fight with this one over here, whom will these guys be expected to support? The fellow tiger. Right? Other tigers will support the fellow tiger. On this clan's dhwaj or flag, what is printed? The eucalyptus tree. On your flag, the eagle, and your flag, ऐसा सिंपल सा जीवन है हमारा. ठीक है? That is the nature of social life in the Arunta tribe. Coming to their religious beliefs and practices. Each clan had a chirunga. Western anthropologists and sociologists call it a bull roarer. But we call it chirunga will suffice for us. You understand chirunga? No? Bull roarer. Bull roarer. But chirunga is just fine. Okay? You don't understand chirunga? That's very un-Arunta of you. But chirunga was basically a very simple thing. It was a piece of wood, small piece of wood, with a thread attached to one of its ends. ठीक है? एक लकड़ी का टुकड़ा जिसपे एक तरफ एक धागा या रस्सी टाइप होता था. On this chirunga, okay. Now this chirunga was the most sacred object for the clan. All their religious rituals and practices would involve or have something to do with the chirunga. ठीक? Chirunga is nothing but a lakdi ka tukda with a dhaga. Why it's called a bull roarer? Because when you swirl it, it cuts the wind and makes the sound as if a bull is roaring. I've never heard a bull roar, but that's how they explain it. Okay? So, that was the chirunga, a piece of wood. And on the chirunga was carved the symbol or the totem of the clan. ठीक है? On the chirunga was carved the totem or the symbol of the clan. So what is carved on your chirunga? The eagle. On your chirunga, the tiger. On your chirunga, the eucalyptus tree. Now what Durkheim observed, that they are basically worshipping the chirunga. They are considering the chirunga as sacred. Are you with me? For members of each clan. And on the chirunga is carved what? The totem. So what are they really worshipping? Totem is a symbol of what? That clan only. So what are the members of a clan worshipping when they are worshipping that totem? They are worshipping the clan itself. Are you with me? He combined these, put 2 and 2 together. That it was the totem which was at the center of all their worship. It was the totem which they considered as sacred, and totem was a symbol of the clan itself. So what do you deduce from these? That religion is nothing but society worshipping itself. खुद की तो पूजा कर रहे थे, खुद के चिन्ह की पूजा कर रहे थे, अर्थात वो खुद की पूजा कर रहे थे उस चिन्ह के माध्यम से. आर यू विद मी? So they considered the totem as sacred, and totem was a symbol of the clan. So from this, Durkheim deduced that religion involves the society worshipping itself. So what is God? Absolutely. God is nothing but society divinized. God and society are one and the same. When we are worshipping God, we are really worshipping the society itself. ठीक? So this is what he deduced from his analysis of, and the religion of क्या नाम है इनका? Arunta. The religion of the Arunta people is known as totemism or totem worship. So from his analysis of totemism amongst the Arunta, he concluded that religion is society worshipping itself. That God is nothing but society divinized. In other words, it is only the society which is worshipped as God. ठीक? So why do the members of the society worship themselves? हम क्यों खुद की पूजा करते हैं? अजीब सी बात नहीं है खुद को इतनी इंपॉर्टेंस देना. In other words, how does this worship of God oblique society serve any purpose? In other words, what are the, क्या सोच रहे हैं हम, what are the functions of religion? Let us try to appreciate. तो लिख लो ना, functions of religion. According to Durkheim, friends, religion contributes to the maintenance and well-being of the society in several ways. Religion contributes to the maintenance and well-being of the society in several ways. Can you give me one word for this? That word is functions, right? Contributions to the maintenance and well-being of the society are what? Functions. So religion performs the following functions. Before that, we have a few short quick doubts. Who are the Jews? Jews are the guys who were exterminated or subjected to this thing by Sri Hitler, right? And they are the followers of Judaism. Okay, Christianity was also born from the womb of Judaism. What is chirunga? Chirunga is a piece of wood at one end of which a thread or a rope kind of a thing is tied, and it is and on it is carved the totem or the symbol of the clan, and it's a very sacred object. ठीक है, चलिए, coming back to the functions of religion as per Durkheim are as follows. पहली बात, religion, friends, provides the members of the society. We shouldn't write in first person while writing answers. That's why I slightly changed. Don't say it provides us. Okay, religion provides the members of a society with a shared morality. A shared morality. What do you mean by morality? A sense of right and wrong. Simply that is morality. So it provides us with a shared sense of what is right and what is wrong. And that shared morality, friends, is very essential for collective life. Without a shared sense of what is right and what is wrong, we will not be able to get along. If each person has their own individual, distinct moral compass or sense of right and wrong, then we will always be at loggerheads. Yes or no? What you do will appear completely unacceptable to me, reprehensible, morally reprehensible to me, and vice versa. आपकी नजरों में आप ठीक होंगे, पर मेरी नजरों में आप गलत होंगे. तो we need a collective sense of क्या सही है, क्या गलत है. And that is provided to us by religion. So religion inculcates those shared values amongst us. Yes or no? And when religion does it, please appreciate. That is why, say in Hinduism, why do we worship Sri Ram? Is it because he was a great king? Or because he was what? Why do we worship Sri Ram? Was he the greatest of kings ever? Yes, because he was Maryada Purushottam Ram. We don't worship Raja Ram. We worship Maryada Purushottam Ram. Maryada Purushottam. Purushottam yani the perfect man or the ideal man. And why was he perfect or ideal? Because he lived as per Maryada or as per the morality. Who lived as per the shared morality. Yes or no? Upheld the collective morality. So that is why we worship him. Are you with me? That is what religion provides us with. Secondly, religion provides the society with a very effective mechanism of social control. Over who? Over its individual members. Over its individual members. Please appreciate. Now, and how does religion do that? Because religion classifies certain things as sacred. It also lays down certain taboos. Yes or no? And when they do so, when anything is regarded as sacred, it acquires a lot of power to control the actions of man. When something is regarded as sacred or there is a strong taboo, then it acquires a lot of power to control the actions of man. For example, as a practicing Hindu, आप गौ हत्या क्यों नहीं करोगे? Why won't you engage in cow slaughter? Not because it is illegal, but it is a sin. Ghanghor paap hai. And when you say it is paap is something you want to avoid at all costs. That too Ghanghor paap. Are you with me? And that is what will help the society to control your actions or regulate your behavior. Are you with me? So religion provides a very effective mechanism of social control. Can a Hindu woman have an extramarital affair? No. Of course not. Why? Because there is a strict religious interdiction or prohibition against it. Are you with me? As a patni, what is your param dharma? To be pati vrata. Right? So you have to be only available, only touched by who? Your pati parmeshwar and no one else. If you violate that, क्या कर रहे हो आप? घंघोर पाप. Adultery हो गई होगी decriminalize. But it's not about the legal aspects. अभी भी क्या है वो? There is a religious prohibition against adultery. तो इसलिए हिंदू औरतें theoretically नहीं करती हैं. ठीक है? Next. The relationship between man and God is exactly the same as the relationship between man and कौन? Society. या उसको उल्टा लिख दो. Relationship between man and society is exactly the same as the relationship between man and God. पच करो और फिर God को काट के society कर दो, society को काट के God कर दो. I repeat, finally what we have settled on is relationship between man and society is exactly the same as the relationship between man and God. So what is the nature of the relationship between man and God? आपका भगवान से क्या रिश्ता है? कैसा रिश्ता है? Raise your hands and speak. What is the nature of the relationship between man and God? Brother? Sorry? Devotee? Okay. Pious, pavitra rishta. Control human. Is that how you look at God? थोड़ा खुद के एक्सपीरियंसेस से बोलो. पॉइंट्स तो आते रहेंगे. God nurtures us. He is nurturing. Yes, बेटी. आप अपना बताओ. Yes. What is your relationship with God? क्या? I couldn't hear. He is like a best friend. So whenever you are in trouble, you call upon God to help you out. Yes, that's something a lot of us do. Unequal relationship. Of course it is unequal, है ना? हम और भगवान एक दर्जे के तो नहीं हैं. Sorry, he guides your conduct. Brother. Respect, of course. So see how the typical, how is that the typical relationship between man and God reflected in, say, the act of prayer. When we pray, irrespective of culture or religious community to which we belong, what in essence is prayer? हम भगवान को कहते हैं कि हे प्रभु, आप सर्वज्ञ, सर्वज्ञानी, सर्वशक्तिशाली और मैं सूक्ष्म प्राणी, मुझ पे कृपा करो. Yes or no? In other words, or in English, for those who don't understand Hindi, that God, you are almighty, all powerful, omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, right? And I am a tuchha prani, I am a petty, inconsequential entity. So please shower your beneficence on me. Right? That is what is in essence is prayer. In other words, friends, while praying, we acknowledge, man or human beings acknowledge our dependence on God. We acknowledge our sukshmata in front of God, or our, what's sukshmata in Hindi? In English? Then is subtle. How inconsequential and powerless we are. We acknowledge that vis-a-vis or in front of God. Right? So, and that is exactly the relationship between man and society. Vis-a-vis the society also, we are completely dependent on society. For the fulfillment of our various needs, we are completely dependent on the society. Society is way bigger, way more powerful, way more consequential than the individual. Why is it important? Why should man feel sukshma or inconsequential? It's like, seems like encouraging sense of helplessness, powerlessness. Does it make you feel impotent? I mean, if you were to look at it, negatively, does this whole thing called religion make you feel impotent, powerless? Yes, Beti. Absolutely. Please appreciate this sense of dependence and powerlessness, if I may call it that, is very important to be inculcated in the individual members of the society. Only then one can ensure cooperation and cohesion in society. See, there's a tendency, particularly in every society, amongst the rich and the powerful. So if I am immensely successful in whatever field I am in, if I am super rich, if I am very powerful, then I can potentially be imbued with a sense of arrogance. Yes or no? Ki bhaiya, see, and especially you, if you've made it yourself rather than inherited wealth or whatever. Now, when you have this concept of a God or this more powerful entity, that helps to inculcate a sense of humility in the individual. आप acknowledge करते हो, recognize करते हो कि whatever I have today is not of my own doing. It is due to the beneficence, due to the contributions of a greater power. Are you with me? And that facilitates cooperation amongst the members of the society. अगर हम सब अपनी अपनी चौड़ में जीने लग गए ना, तो साथ में जीना कठिन हो जाएगा. तो रिलीजन के माध्यम से हमारी जो चौड़ है वो थोड़ी काफी कम हो जाती है. Yes or no? Even the most chauda amongst us, we bow down before God. Right? So, लिख लिया? या सिंपली ऐसे लिख लो और कुछ नहीं लिखना. द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन मैन एंड सोसाइटी इज एग्जैक्टली द सेम एज द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन मैन एंड गॉड, कॉमा, विच इज अ रिलेशनशिप ऑफ मैन्स डिपेंडेंस on God oblique society. Which is a relationship of man's sheer dependence on God / society. ठीक? Next point. Another function of religion. Religion, friends, is an important source ऑफ स्ट्रेंथ. अजीब सी बातें है ना, कई बार तो कहेंगे पावरलेस फील करता है इंसान, अब हम कह रहे हैं इट्स अ सोर्स ऑफ स्ट्रेंथ. रिलीजन इज एन इंपॉर्टेंट सोर्स ऑफ स्ट्रेंथ, particularly in difficult times. Absolutely. All members of the society, friends. लिखो नहीं ना, समझ भी तो लो. All members of the society, each and every one of us, no matter which class, caste, religion, nationality, etc., which we belong to. Each and every member of the society does experience difficult times at some point or the other in their lives. Religion helps us to deal with those difficult situations. One of the most difficult situations faced by all members of all societies is, yes, the death of their near and dear ones. हर किसी के करीबी लोग जाएंगे, and that is particularly difficult for the bereaved. Bereaved मतलब those who are left behind, right, to come to terms with. Because, over long period of an existence of a human being, you develop close relationship, emotional dependence, so many things. Financial dependence could be there. So on and so forth. So religion particularly helps us make sense of death, or to come to terms with death. How does religion help us to tackle or come to terms with death? Death तो होनी है. So क्या ही कर सकता है religion इस मैटर में? Yes. हाँ, तो पूरे sentences बोल दो. Why are you just throwing keywords at me? हाँ.
It makes like death is not the end. There is an afterlife and heaven, hell concept, and then the person will come back in another form. Like in some religions, they say there is rebirth. Some say there is a final destination, heaven or.
So how does that help me? You're right, absolutely right. And how does that help me to come to terms with the death?
The person is not gone but transcended.
हाँ, very good. So sometimes religions would tend to frankly deny the fact of death. मरे थोड़ी ना है. He's not gone, okay? He's just traveled from this world to the other world. And which world is better? The other world. He's only gone to a better place. Yes or no? To heaven. In God's lap. Are you with me? Or say the theory of karma would suggest in Hinduism that the person is reborn. पुनर्जन्म होता है हिंदुइज्म में, तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. So he will be reborn. If a person is dead, grandfather is dead, he will be reborn as the grandchild or something. Yes or no? उनका नाम भी वही रख देंगे उसका modern version करके. Something or the other. So it helps us to come to terms with death by such explanations which either, say deny the existence of death or make it more bearable. So he's, there somewhere up there looking over you and still caring for you and ensuring that your life is still smooth. So why do you cry over the passing away of your, say, parents? Are you with me? Or spouse? Also appreciate the rituals associated with death, religious rituals. What happens during these rituals, during the performance of these rituals? क्या होता है? Absolutely. The other members of the society join in. Now when you join, have you guys been to a death ritual? Tervi, Chautha, anything? Kriyakaram, वगैरह? How does it matter? जिसको जाना था वो तो चला गया. How does your presence really matter? And oftentimes, you don't even say anything. Yes or no? Because you find it very confusing कि क्या तो कहूँ, उसके parents चले गए, उसका spouse चले गया, उसके XYZ की death हो गई. So you are literally at a loss of words. On your way there, you are thinking कि क्या कहूँगा, and वहाँ जाके कुछ भी नहीं कहते. चुप रह के हम आ जाते हैं. By just registering our physical presence there. But how does it really benefit or help the other guy, the bereaved, in any way? Yes?
Emotional solidarity.
Absolutely. So, by participating in the death rituals, okay, members of the society are expressing their support to the bereaved. It's a show of solidarity. That भैया you are not alone. Are you with me? तो आपके पति चले गए, आपके पिता चले गए, पर हम लोग आपके साथ हैं. We are standing with you. Are you with me? Have you heard any of those things which they say during those baithaks? Yeah. So they would also, say all these very nice things, almost portray death in a very positive light. And they will sing praise of the dead guy. Right? वो बहुत अच्छे थे, बीवी बच्चों का करके गए, सामाजिक रूप से भी करते थे, दान पुण्य, etc. And so you'll feel, yeah, the society appreciates whatever. So his life was really worth it. The society appreciates. Yes or no? कोई कभी बुराई करते सुना है? मेरे पैसे मार गए, या बीवी को बहुत पीटते थे, पापी आदमी थे. Never say that. You always sing praise of the dead. Right? So that also helps the family members, those who are close to him, reinforce their beliefs. Yeah, he was a wonderful guy. Right? And you need that reinforcement. Right? तो आप क्या कहोगे कि वो इतने प्यारे थे, भगवान को भी प्यारे हो गए. Right? So that is the message the society conveys through these death rituals, through these gatherings, which rationalize death, deny the fact of death. Are you with me? And make the whole tragic experience of bereavement far more bearable, providing strength and support to the bereaved. Bereaved matlab the near and dear ones who would, genuinely mourn the loss of the guy. Very few. शुरू के आसपास के 2-4 लोगों को ही होती है. Everybody else is there to express support. ठीक? Another important function of religion. क्या नाम है तुम्हारा? Durkheim. So, Durkheim, he made an interesting observation. He said that, a lot of these religious rituals, festivities, etc. And you will also observe, following Durkheim, that they are accompanied by a lot of singing, dancing, instrumentation, chanting, that too of a collective nature. Lot of these religious rituals are accompanied by collective singing, chanting, dancing, etc. खूब नाच गाना होता है religious gatherings में, and वो भी मिलके साथ में नाच गाना. Now why do religions have this aspect of collective singing and dancing, etc., or chanting during rituals? Durkheim says that such collective chanting, singing, etc., during religious gatherings produces what he calls a collective effervescence. Collective effervescence. Effervescence means what? Simply it's like a collective energy which is produced when a large number of people, a good number of members of the same society, when they dance and sing together, a certain collective energy is produced. Sorry? लिखने के एंगल से या समझाने के? लिखना ही more important है ना? तो लिखो. Durkheim suggests that religious rituals are frequently accompanied by collective singing, chanting and dancing. collective singing, chanting and dancing. Comma, which produces, या फुल स्टॉप कर दो, कॉमा की बजाय फुल स्टॉप कर दो. दिस प्रोड्यूसेस अ कलेक्टिव effervescence which strengthens the bonds binding the individual to the religious community. Full stop. I repeat, according to Durkheim, religious rituals and festivities are often accompanied by collective singing, chanting and dancing. This produces a collective energy or collective effervescence which serves to reinforce or strengthen the bonds binding the individual to the religious community. अब इसका मतलब समझ लेते हैं हिंदी भाषा में या इंग्लिश भाषा में. What we are saying is, when people of a religion, and it's not just about the Arunta people, you see it in your own religion, you will find that when a lot of people gather, oftentimes there is collective dancing and singing. And this has kind of an electrifying effect on the whole atmosphere. Are you with me? Have you experienced it personally? Say, if you have been to वैष्णो देवी, गए हो वैष्णो देवी, तो वहां क्या बोलते हैं? जोर से बोलो, सारे बोलो, आवाज नहीं आई, अगले भी बोले, पिछले भी बोले. So when you do that, when you are going up the चढ़ाई and you are doing Jai Mata Di, Jai Mata Di, Jai Mata Di, you may have gone there as half atheist or just to hang out with friends in the cold climes of Vaishno Devi. But in the process of chanting Jai Mata Di, along with that, that energy is produced that you also feel कि यार मैं भी माता का एक भगत हूं. Yes or no? You feel one with that crowd, with that group of people. And that is what it does. And it's not just in Hindu, this thing. Whether it is the collective, chanting in the Friday namaz. Are you in any religion? You will find. During bhajan kirtans, have you had those jagratas? If you've been there, so you are very hesitant to dance, and then you get up, and then you are also dancing as if you're crazy for Mata or Krishanji, etc. है ना? Because you come under the sway of that electrifying effect. Are you with me? You shed your inhibitions, and then you also start dancing like crazy, which you only used to make fun of a few years back. धन्यवाद. हाँ जी. So, and this electrifying effect of collective singing, chanting, dancing is not peculiar to religious gatherings even. Any collective gatherings tend to produce such an electrifying effect. Think of a sports stadium. Think of a rock concert. There also you have this electrifying effect. Yes or no? So वो rock stars बजा रहे होते हैं स्टेज पे, लोग अपने कपड़े फाड़ रहे होते हैं. You have not gone there with that intent, but you also end up following your कपड़े. Yes or no? Or you also get swayed so much by the whole electrifying effect. Yeah, if there's an India Park match going on and everybody is chanting Sachin, Sachin, yeah, India, India, and you also start chanting India, India. And you also feel what? The Indian within you kind of, comes to the fore, sidelining the Hindu and the Jat or the ethnic community or the regional identity to which you belong. And you feel one with all other Indians chanting in that crowd as an Indian. Yes or no? So it strengthens this collective chanting, singing, dancing, etc. It produces such an electrifying effect that it strengthens the bonds binding the individual to the religious community. इसलिए करते हैं. ठीक? So Durkheim के हिसाब से religion is a very important mechanism to ensure social cohesion. It strengthens social solidarity. लिख लो, ये सारे फंक्शनल शब्द हैं. फंक्शनल लिस्ट आंसर्स में ये सारे फ्रेजेस आने चाहिए. आर यू विद मी? इट प्रोड्यूसेस सोशल कोहेजन. बिटिया हाँ भर रहे हो विद ब्लैंक आइज कि सर कह क्या गए. हाँ, it is a source of social solidarity. In other words, it is a unifying force. It unites its members. Are you with me? हाँ, जितना भी फिफ्थ सिक्स. ठीक है? Religion is simply a unifying force. It's an adhesive, it's a glue which binds the members of the society together. ठीक? I know you are waiting for but just a minute. Coming back to that definition of religion. We had begun with Durkheim's definition of religion and left incomplete. Now is the time to complete it. लिखो, खोलो और लिखो. According to Durkheim, लिखी हुई है, I'm just starting from this first part. Religion is a unified system of beliefs and practices related to sacred things, i.e., things set apart and forbidden, comma, which unites its members into a single moral community. Which unites its members into a single moral community. ठीक है? Now are we able to appreciate the part which we have added to the definition? How does it help constitute a single moral community? Because it provides us with a shared morality, a shared sense of right and wrong. All Hindus, as Hindus, believe in the same things as right and as wrong. All Muslims likewise have a same sense of right and wrong. Yes or no? And which unites its members. How you understand how religion unites us? Yeah? All those facets. Yeah? Whether by generating collective effervescence or providing us with a shared sense of morality through control mechanisms, all of that helps to unite the members of the society as one. With that, we take your very well deserved break. ठीक है? No? 3-minute break. क्या? हाँ? Settle down, please. So, we have understood most of Durkheim's theory of religion, except for a small bit. We've understood how he defines religion, where he studies religion, what conclusions he draws, what are the functions of religion he identifies. Now, please appreciate, friends, the time at which Durkheim was writing. When was he writing? He was writing in the second half of the 19th century and in the early 20th century. Yani, in the immediate aftermath of the French and the industrial revolutions in Europe. Right? What had happened to religion in Europe that time, when Durkheim was writing about religion at such length? Religion की क्या स्थिति थी यूरोप में? Yeah? Raise your hands, yeah. The powers of the church were greatly curtailed. Or, absolutely correct. Or, yes.
The power of the church was Christian.
हाँ, he said as much. है ना? और, yeah.
So, due to change in society, spiritual endeavors के बजाय people were taking more materialistic endeavors.
Absolutely. So there was a clear shift from a spiritual orientation to a more materialist orientation. Or the church and the state had been separated, what we call secularism, particularly in the context of France and thereafter various other places in Europe. Very importantly, science proved to, it gave a major challenge to religion as a source of knowledge. People, masses, not just the intellectuals or the elites, the masses at large, started looking to science for explanations of various phenomena instead of religion. So religion as a source of knowledge, the powers of organized religion or church, all of that had significantly declined. And this process, the decline in the importance of religion in society, we call very good secularization. European society had undergone secularization along with modernization, right? How did Durkheim view this process of the seeming decline of religion, importance of religion in European society? What Durkheim sees, friends, according to him, religion has not died in the modern industrial society. Religion is not died or declined in the modern industrial society. The essence of religion remains the same. The essence of religion remains the same. What is the essence of religion according to Durkheim? The distinction between sacred and profane. That distinction continues to be maintained even in modern industrial society. The only difference is that the old sacreds have been replaced by a new set of sacreds. The old sacreds have been replaced by a new set of sacreds. What is this new sacred? It is the idea of a nation. The nation is the new sacred. So in modern society we engage in nation worship. Yes or no? The totem or the symbol of the nation is regarded as sacred or not? What is the totem or symbol of the nation? The national flag. The national emblem. Yes or no? These are the new sacreds. So not only the essence of religion has remained the same. So can you treat the national flag any which way? Like a common piece of cloth? No. There are detailed rules and regulations governing interaction with the national flag, codified in the Flag Code of India, for instance. Yes or no? Ordinary कपड़ा आप जला सकते हो, नेशनल फ्लैग क्या जला सकते हो? ऑर्डिनरी कपड़ा उल्टा टांग सकते हो, क्या नेशनल फ्लैग उल्टा टांग सकते हो? नो. आर यू विद मी? It was also imperative, essential, that the old sacreds be replaced by new sacreds with modernization. Please appreciate. Essential tha, required tha, that the old sacreds be replaced by new sacreds with the process of modernization. Why? Because pre-modern societies were largely homogeneous. But modern industrial society is heterogeneous, multicultural, multi-religious. Yes or no? Are you with me? So if in modern society also, if we cling to our old sacreds, so if I strongly cling to my Hindu identity and the sacredness of the cow and Bhagava, etc., and the Muslim likewise clings to the old sacreds of the Muslim culture, क्या होगा? Conflict होगा. So we need a new set of sacreds that all of us can hold as sacred. What is that sacred? The national flag, the national anthem. Yes or no? These are the new binding factors. In modern industrial society. Not only has the essence of religion remained the same, religion continues to perform the same functions in modern industrial society as it did in the pre-modern society or a primitive tribe like Arunta. Same functions भी perform कर रहा है बिटिया. Does this new religion provide you with a new shared sense of morality? What is that source of the new morality? It is the constitution. What we call the constitutional morality. Yes or no? So that is the new shared sense of right and wrong. Have you experienced collective effervescence of this new religion? While, say, singing the national anthem in the movie hall, if nowhere else, रोंगटे खड़े हो जाते हैं? Does your heart swell with pride? Singing Janagan Man or Vande Mataram? Yes or no? And you feel one as Indians rising above your narrow identities of caste and religion, etc. Are you with me? So it serves to bind us. Enhances social cohesion and social solidarity. Are you with me? So religion has not vanished from modern society. Only what constitutes sacred or is regarded as sacred has changed form from one to another. The old sacreds have been shed and replaced by the new sacreds. Clear? This is Durkheim's take on religion in modern society. Now we have covered Durkheim's views on religion holistically, fairly holistically. कैसी लगी? Durkheim की बात कैसी लगी? Will you be with me? हाँ, मतलब another sometime. ये पूछ रहा था मैं. बिटिया तो बैग उठा के चल दी थी. नहीं. Let us just complete the topic, okay? But tell me, कैसी लगी Durkheim की बात? अच्छी, बढ़िया. बच्चों अच्छी लगेगी तो हम आगे कैसे बढ़ेंगे? What is it that you find disagreeable about his theory, बेटी? सोसाइटी से तो हम छुपाते हैं. आर what our, so we put on a pretense in front of the society, but in front of God we are our true selves. Multi, elaborate on that now. Religion is not a unifying factor, you are saying. Great. और बताइए बच्चों. Brother? Absolutely correct. Bitya? Absolutely correct. And simply extrapolated जो अरेंटा में हो रहा है वही वहां भी हो ही रहा होगा. Yes. नहीं, sorry, you can't accuse Durkheim of teleology. In fact, he categorically cautions against teleological arguments. ठीक है, चलिए, thank you. So, note down also criticisms of Durkheim's theory of religion. पहली बात, as some of you rightly pointed out, his theory ignores or downplays the conflict, violence, strife and bloodshed that religion has led to throughout human history. Yes or no? इनको लगता है रिलीजन से भाईचारा, peace, harmony, all of that is promoted. But even a casual glance at human history will tell us that religion has been a source of much violence and strife and enmity and bloodshed throughout human history. Yes or no? Whether it was the Crusades of, I think, the medieval period, correct me if I am wrong there, yeah, or the communal riots in 20th and 21st century India. Yes or no? Much blood has been shed in the name of religion. Its critics would argue, Durkheim's critics would argue, religion has been one of the most divisive forces. He sees it as a unifying force, but religion has been one of the most divisive forces in human history. Not only has it resulted in interreligious conflicts, but also within a religious community. Even within a religious group. Globally, there has been clashes between Christians and Muslims. Hindus and Muslims, Hindus and Sikhs. Are you with me? Jews and Christians, Jews and Muslims. Amongst Muslims, the Shia-Sunni divide is very deep. Possibly some content more divisive than, divisions between the Islamic world and the other religious communities. Are you with me? Durkheim is, he neglects all of this conflict and bloodshed attributable to religion. Secondly, as one of you rightly pointed out, his theory may be applicable to simple, small scale and primitive societies like Arunta. But they may not be, he wrongly extrapolates it to explain religion in general. It may not be the correct way to understand religion in far more complex and large scale societies. Are you with me? Whether it is the Christian world, the Muslim world, the Hindu world. Arunta were a simple social organization, simple religious beliefs and practices. But you look at Hinduism, you look at Islam. You have so many scriptures. You have so many different interpretations, different philosophies, schools of thought, often clashing with each other, arguments, counter-arguments. Are you with me? Large-scale organizations, hierarchies, divisions, so many things. So to extrapolate from the findings of a simple, small-scale tribal society and offer it as an explanation of religion in general, are you with me? Might be a stretch. Thirdly, Durkheim क्या कहते हैं कि religion promotes a shared sense of morality. It helps to, or it teaches us right from wrong. Yes or no? Critics would argue that religion, or at least some religions, promote immorality. Immorality. If you were to ask Ambedkar, the religion of Hinduism encourages its followers to practice untouchability. What could be more immoral than that? Are you with me? गलत चीज भी सिखाता है रिलीजन, सिर्फ अच्छी चीजें नहीं सिखाता है. Next. May I? Durkheim's theory of religion, or Durkheim is criticized for being an armchair sociologist. Armchair sociologist. Armchair sociologist matlab, he never bothered to visit the Arunta tribe. Never came face to face with them. हाँ, अपने यूरोप के आलिशान बंगले में बैठ के या वो कॉलेज यूनिवर्सिटी में बैठ के उन्होंने अपनी पूरी रिसर्च लिख डाली. जिन लोगों के बारे में लिखी है अपरेंटली, उनसे ना इनका कभी आमना सामना हुआ, ना कभी वहां जाने की इन्होंने चेष्टा करी. कहां से मिली? और किताबों से. और लोग गए थे, उन्होंने लिखा था, उसके बेसिस पे पढ़ के अच्छा ऐसा है तो ये ऐसा होता है. ठीक है. सो ही नेवर कंडक्टेड any field studies or field work amongst the Arunta people. आर्मचेयर सोशियोलॉजिस्ट मतलब लिटरली एक आर्मचेयर होती है ना, जिसपे वो रॉकिंग चेयर सी होती है, अपना बैठ के मस्त आराम से अध्ययन कर दिया सारा. Didn't want to get his feet dirty, in the field work. ठीक है. Durkheim's theory of religion has been criticized for ignoring how religion is a source of oppression. Religion is a source of oppression. And exploitation. Numerous atrocities have been committed in the name of religion. Be it the Sati Pratha, or inhuman practices like untouchability. Be it the seclusion of women or the parda system, or regressive practices like triple talaq. Feminist critics like Karen Armstrong and Kamla Bhasin contend that all major religions are patriarchal. They legitimize, support, justify the subordination of women. So religious rules legitimize the control of men over women. Are you with me? Durkheim's theory completely neglects this dimension of religion. औरतों के लिए सॉलिडारिटी वॉलिडारिटी नहीं करता, औरतों को दबाता है रिलीजन. बट रिलीजन, ये क्या नाम है तुम्हारा, डॉर्कहाइम, ही सीज रिलीजन थ्रू इन अ वेरी वेरी पॉजिटिव लाइट. His dichotomy of sacred and profane, that is also criticized. You know, he sees it as an either or kind of a categorization. All things, beings, phenomena, entities are either sacred or profane, according to Durkheim. But is it really so in the real world? If I were to ask you, okay, you'll understand better with examples. That notebook in which you are writing, is that sacred or profane? Is that sacred or profane? If you say it is profane, will you touch it with your feet? पांव लगा दोगे, उसको एज अ स्टेप लेके उस पे खड़े हो जाओगे? नहीं, भगवत गीता नहीं है वो. But there is still some element of sacredness in an, because Vidya in Hindu culture has a sacredness associated with it. Yes or no? He thinks profane is something ordinary and sacred is something set apart and forbidden. Yeah? Profane is of everyday use and mundane. Take something as your everyday meal. रोज जो भोजन करते हैं, is that sacred or profane? It is not something very special or kept apart and forbidden. After all, we eat all day and every day. Yes or no? But then there is also a certain sacredness associated with food in Hindu culture. Are you with me? Or the money in your pocket. Sacred है या profane है? You guys are quite clear कि sacred है ना? It is Lakshmi Mata after all. But then it is a very ordinary thing of great everyday use. In very ordinary transactions, if you buy cigarettes, you exchange money. If you buy daru, you exchange money. Seems very, very profane in that sense. Yeah, but then पाँव लगने दोगे? नहीं, माथे से लगाओगे, है ना? There is that element of sacredness. Point is, friends, that Durkheim होता है, सबसे होता है. That Durkheim, he, proposes a very clear distinction between the sacred and the profane. While in the real world, such distinctions in many cultures, such distinctions may not hold. Things may be, everyday things may be regarded as sacred. Things may be regarded as partly sacred and partly profane, or there may be some degree of sacredness associated with a lot of things. So there may be some sort of a continuum between sacred and profane rather than a dichotomy. Dichotomy मतलब either or choice. या तो sacred है या profane है. ऐसा नहीं है, बहुत सारी चीजें दोनों ही हैं in varying degrees. ठीक है? पेरेंट्स सेक्रेड है, प्रोफेन है? सेक्रेड है ना, ठीक है, बट उन पे हम चिल्लाते भी हैं, झगड़ते भी हैं, हाँ? तो इतने सेट अपार्ट एंड फॉरबिडन भी नहीं है, सो दैट इज अबाउट डॉर्कहाइम्स थियोरी ऑफ रिलीजन. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. हाँ बेटा, क्या एग्जाम्पल? हम आ जाते हैं.